Hello everybody and welcome to opening day of season number 2 of this New York Mets franchise on MLB The Show 24. We have our military flyover. We are ready to get this thing underway at Citi Field. It will be the New York Mets hosting the Washington Nationals. As you can see, the New York Mets still projected to have Brandon Nimmo, Pete Alonso, and Francisco Lindor lead this team offensively. There is no surprise there. There are, of course, some new additions, and one will be taking the hill. Corbin Burnes, 14-8 with a 2.71 ERA for the Angels last year. Went over to them in the Mike Trout trade, and CJ Abrams just going to sit there and window shop. Look at Damon McConnell, the rookie. You saw him in the last MLB draft. He just sat there looking as well. Joey Meneses comes up and dribbles one over to Frankie Lindor, and Corbin Burnes' first inning as a Met goes swimmingly. Josiah Gray will be opposing him for the Nationals, 14-13 last year with a 3.41 ERA and a 1.35 whip. He will face Jeff McNeil, who leads off and dribbles one over to second base. Easy out over at first. Here is the Mets' new look lineup. McNeil, Lindor, Nimmo, Anthony Santander. Then we, of course, have Alonso, Alvarez, J.D. Davis coming back to the Mets. So it'll be good to see what he does as Lindor is thrown out at first base on a grounder. Brandon Nimmo up at the plate. He lifts this thing right underneath an airplane, but it will be an easy out in center field. So first inning coming to a close. Here's Keibert Ruiz. He comes up and dribbles one over to Lindor, and Lindor over to first. Always a Gold Glove candidate for the shortstop. Stone Garrett swinging and missing as Corbin Burnes gets his third strikeout of the afternoon. Here's one dribbling past first base. That one over to the right field corner as Santander will get it, and a horrid throw over to second base. Santander with a little Mets nerves maybe as James Wood gets his first major league hit. It's a double. Here's Lane Thomas hitting a dribbler over to Lindor, and he will make another fantastic defensive play to get through the top of the second. Anthony Santander, his first at-bat as a New York Met, has it ranging back, and it is off of the second deck in right field. Anthony Santander has hit a home run in his first New York Mets at-bat. Take a look at that, would ya? Number 25, Santander, killing a ball, 376, 97.2 exit velo over to right field, and the Mets have a 1-0 lead. Here's Ronnie Mauricio, and Mauricio will ground out to first base. Easy out. Here's Pete Alonso now. Alonso going to hit this one out to right field, and easy play to make, and will make it for out number 2. So 2 down for Francisco Alvarez, and he hits one over into left field. That is a fair ball. Francisco Alvarez will be at first with a single. Not fast enough to quite leg that one into a double. Here's J.D. Davis. He gets one down in right field, and it gets past the defender in a dive. Cannot make the play. Alvarez will round third and come home. J.D. Davis getting over to the third with a triple in his first at-bat back with New York. Here's Drew Gilbert into right, but that is lined right into the glove. We have a lot of high hopes for Drew Gilbert. Here's an out by Dylan Cruz, just sitting there looking. He has had a lot of high hopes for the Nationals, but he did not get it done there. Here's Brady Howes at the plate, and J.D. Davis ranging back to make the pop fly catch. Corbin Burnes running through the lineup first time without much of a hitch. There's an out. Ooh, close play to get through the top of the third. Corbin Burnes doing a fantastic job. Jeff McNeil comes up in the the bottom of the third inning, and he hits one over the wall for a 386-foot home run as Jeff McNeil hits his first of the season on opening day. And Jeff McNeil blasting the 2-run shot on opening day is going to add to Santander's solo shot, make it a 3-0 game. Here's Lindor at the plate, and this is an embarrassing pop fly into foul territory. Easy out on Lindor. Here's Brandon Nimmo at the plate with Santander coming up, and Nimmo easy out over to first base. Nice scoop down the line. Here's Anthony Santander. Homer his first at-bat and a single here in his second at-bat. Santander is having an incredible start to his Mets career, but Ronnie Mauricio striking out, and it is 3-0 Mets. And Corbin Burns continuing his fantastic work, striking out the rookie Damon McConnell. Here's Joey Meneses at the plate. He just sits there looking, and Corbin Burns having a ton of strikeouts early as he strikes out the side. Keibert Ruiz fanning at that one to get through top of the fourth. Here's Pete Alonso hitting the pitcher. Alonso trying to leg this thing out. He will not be able to. Here's Francisco Alvarez, and he will swing and miss at a slider away. That one got him. Here's J.D. Davis, and Davis trying to get that cutter that was going away from, and it is going to be behind him, and an easy out in foul territory. Here's Stone Garrett, and Garrett with a shallow one in center. Gilbert able to get under it and make the catch. Here's James Wood fanning and missing the circle change down low. And that is the 8th strikeout for Corbin Burns here in the 5th inning. This one's looking good for Lane Thomas. It is going to find the gap. Gilbert cutting it off, but not going to be able to cut off Lane Thomas from a double. Here's Dylan Cruz into center field. Gilbert running on it and making the catch to end the top of the 5th inning. So we go to the bottom half. Here's Drew Gilbert up at the plate now, and this one's looking good. Down the right line, it just curves a little too foul. So Gilbert back at the plate, and this one's a dribbler over to short, and they will miss the throw. Wow, Gilbert able to be safe at first. Here's McNeil. They're not even going to try for the double play here. They'll just take the easy out on McNeil. Lindor now over to second, and he is thrown out at first, but Gilbert over at third base now for Brandon Nimmo. And Nimmo to center field. This one's got a little too much air under it, and that will be caught for the third out. End of the 5th inning. 3-0 Mets as Corbin Burns getting the grounder over to Lindor. That is thrown out of first for out number 1. Here's C.J. Abrams. He struck out twice already, but that's a base hit for him past second base. So C.J. Abrams finds a little bit of his footing. Here's Damon McConnell. The rookie will draw a walk, and Corbin Burns looking like he is in trouble here. And there's a base hit. No, look at the stop by McNeil. It will end up being a base hit, however. They cannot get Meneses at first, and that'll be the end of Corbin Burns' day. Jorge Lopez coming into the game, a 3 ERA last year, 1.22 whip. One of the better bullpen pitchers for the Mets last season. And Alonso will get this infield fly from Keibert Ruiz. Here's Stone Garrett at the plate, and he swings and misses, fanning to get through the middle of the 6th inning as Corbin Burns couldn't last all that long. Here's Tim Cate coming in to pitch to these Mets, 4.56 ERA last season. Anthony Santander with a homer, a single, and another single as Santander continuing his hot bat. Ronnie Mauricio swinging and missing. He will fan again. So he goes down, and Pete Alonso comes up with one away, and Alonso into foul territory, pulling a little Francisco Lindor. That'll be an easy out number 2. Here's Francisco Alvarez, and Alvarez has this thing headed out to right center, and it will be ranged over and caught to end the 6th inning. We go to 7. Here's James Wood. Oof, ugly fan by James Wood. Jorge Lopez still pitching in this one. Here's Lane Thomas, and Thomas takes it out to right. Santander with the glove out there in right field. Dylan Cruz with a little dribble down the first base line, and Alonso takes care of that one. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch. Get your Cracker Jacks. 3-0 Mets. Here's J.D. Davis. He takes it out to right field, and that's a routine fly ball. Out number 1. Here's Drew Gilbert, 0 for 2 on the day, and he sits there taking strike number 3. That's embarrassing. Here's Jeff McNeil, and McNeil down the first baseline. Easy out. 7th inning is over. Matt Moore coming in to try to hold this thing. 1.91 ERA and a 1.06 whip last season. That's why the Mets brought him in. Another new Mets addition. Here's Matt Moore with his first at-bat as a Met, and Brady House is going to fly out to right. Here's C.J. Abrams sitting there and looking again at another strikeout. We had thought he found his footing. There he is striking out again. Here's Damon McConnell. And McConnell over to Nimmo. There's out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Francisco Lindor. And the liner right into the glove out in left field. Here's Brandon Nimmo up against Kate. And this is an easy routine fly ball out in shallow center. That'll be made for out number 2. Anthony Santander hitting one out to center field. And that'll be his first out as a Met to end the 8th inning. And now you know what time it is. Here we go. Edwin Diaz looking to come in on opening day and get his first save of the season. Can he get the job done? He usually can. 46 out of 51 save opportunities last season with a 2.06 ERA and a 1.13 whip. And he faces Joey Meneses. And Meneses takes him deep out to left. And Nimmo with a beautiful run and grab. Keibert Ruiz at the plate. He takes it into right field. That one's all the way into the corner. Santander giving chase, and Keibert Ruiz's slow ass is going to end up on second base. Here's Stone Garrett, and he's going to foul out here. Look at this. In foul territory, Pete Alonso makes the easy catch. So James Wood, it is up to the rookie, and he sits there looking at the slider down low. Edwin Diaz gets the job done, not without its challenges, but Edwin Diaz will have his first save of the season as the New York Mets win it on opening day against the Washington Nationals 3-0. They were expected to, and they got the job done. Corbin Burns gets his first win as a Met, and there you go. Mets 1-0. Let's take a look at the other Mets, the AAA champion Mets, as they are on the road on opening day. Devin Smeltzer is opposing them for the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. And Mike Soroka getting the start for the Syracuse Mets. He was 8-14 last season. He had a rough year last year, but he gets a strikeout here to end the first inning. Vaughn Brown coming up in the top of the second. He gets a base hit into center field. That'll score a runner from second, and the Syracuse Mets take a 1-0 lead. Brett Beatty has an opportunity to keep it going as he is down in AAA this year, but not able to get the job done. As Beatty strikes out, he gets another opportunity with the bases bombed in the top of the 6th, but again, Beatty is the final out of the inning, so he had a rough day. Soroka, though, continued his fantastic pitching. There's a huge strikeout from him. Here's Soroka again getting another big strikeout in the bottom of the 7th. 2 gone. And against Garcia, it's Avisail Garcia who takes him out to right field, and Vaughn Brown makes the catch. That's through 7 for the Syracuse Mets. Humberto Santiago, another newcomer to the squad, coming in. And we're hoping for big things from him. We're hoping that he can eventually find his way into the Major League squad as he pitches a very nice 8th inning. Sam Bachman, the closer here. In 2023, pitched 17 innings. We'll see what he can do this season as the closer for the Syracuse Mets. He gets the first out right over to Camacho Rollins for an easy fly ball. Here's Fitzgerald up at the plate, and Luis Angel Acuna throws him out. Owen Miller up at the plate, and he takes it out to Camacho Rollins, who will make the grab of the Syracuse Mets with a 2-0 win. Mike Soroka looking good on opening day, which we really want to see because Soroka is somebody we hope could make the Major League starting lineup. Here's Lindor against the Nationals, still in that opening series of the year, and Lindor with a nice single into right field, trying to rally this team. He started a little slow on opening day, but he's looking pretty good now. Yohan Adon will come in to try to stop this bleeding and keep the Mets from taking a lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Pete Alonso comes up, lifts one out to left, and that one's just shy of the warning track. So, end of the 8th inning. Nationals tied here with the Mets. Here's Joey Meneses, and that is a beautiful stop by Alonso. On to second, on to first, and they get the double play. What massive defense Anthony Santander, who started his opening day beautifully, and there you go, a walk-off shot for Anthony Santander. He has killed it as a New York Met. His second home run of the season, 389 feet, and he gets to celebrate with this fan base at Citi Field. He gets to come home and get that pile driven on him. Look at that. You love to see it. Anthony Santander might be a fantastic pickup for the next couple of seasons as the Mets win 3-2. Xavier Curry going to get the win. Lindor with another chance against the Cubbies in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's a 4-3 ball game, and Lindor hits a shot out to right center, and it is gone. Frankie Lindor has hit his very first home run of the season. 388 feet, 95.7 exit velo. It didn't take long for Lindor to start swinging a hot bat here. He got that single in the last game. He gets the tying homer here, and Brandon Nimmo with a chance to take the lead on back-to-back Jags. Just doesn't happen, though, and he ends up fanning instead. So Nimmo down swinging. Here's Jeff McNeil. McNeil with a dribbler up the middle, and that is a beautiful grab by Hector Neris. Here's Pete Alonso. He's swinging and missing, but the ball gets away, and Alonso is going to leg it out to first. Let's go, Pete. And then Santander comes up swinging that hot bat. He gets himself on as well. So 2 on, 2 out for Andrew Vaughn. Andrew Vaughn was a pickup we thought had a lot of potential, but his first big at-bat this season, not that great, as that will end the 8th inning. We go into the bottom of the 10th, and Lindor continuing to swing the hot bat, gets it down in center field, and leaves runners on the corners against Carl Edwards Jr. Here's Brandon Nimmo. Nimmo taking it out to left. That one going deep all the way to the warning track. It is caught, but this walk-off sacrifice fly gives the Mets a win. Beautiful. The Mets get another big win as Travis d'Arnaud scoring the winning run. And the Mets have been exciting to start this season. There you go, taking a little team photo. 5-4 win. Phil Bickford ending up with the dub in that one as the Mets won that series against the Cubs 2-1. Here's Andrew Vaughn at the plate. Another big at-bat for him. This one in the top of the 6th against the Philadelphia Phillies. And he just dribbles this one right back to the pitcher. Vaughn is going to be out at first base, but he does drive home a runner. Drew Gilbert with a chance now. Gilbert into center field. That one will get down. And the young man not just gets one, he might get two. No, what a tag by Real Muto. Oh my goodness. What a tag. A little backhand tag. The Mets do win anyways as Pete Alonso hit a 2-run shot. And the Mets win it in Citizens Bank Park 6-4. Kodai Senga gets his first win of the season. Here's Alec Boehm at the plate in another Philly game. Tied at 3, and the double play ball gets the Mets through 6. Here's Brandon Nimmo out to left field with a runner on in the top of the 7th, and that is just a routine fly ball. To get through the top of the 7th inning, Brandon Marsh with a nice catch. Here's Edmundo Sosa at the plate, and he fans to end the 9th inning. We go to extra innings in this one. Lopez getting the Mets there. So 3-3 ball game. Mets have had more hits, and they've got the heart of the order here. Francisco Alvarez with 2 out and a runner on third base, and Alvarez is going to pop that thing out of here. Big 2-run shot for Francisco Alvarez, and the Mets have taken the lead in extra innings. That's his first homer of the season, too. 413 feet here at Citizens Bank in the top of the 10th inning. So with 2 gone, in the top of the 10th, Alvarez hits the big one, and now Edwin Diaz with a chance to close that thing out. This would be his 4th save of the season. He's a 2-time reliever of the year in 18 and 22, and he'd like to get that award again. Here's Real Muto up at the plate over to Nimmo in left. He makes the catch, no tag-up attempt. Now Johan Rojas, and he will hit this into foul territory, but Alonso flashing the leather on the liner. Bryson Stott swinging and missing, and Edwin Diaz takes care of the Phillies in short order. Huge for Diaz's fourth save of the year. Jorge Lopez gets the win, and the Mets, more importantly, get the win. 5-3, guarantee themselves taking that series. As Tyrone Taylor was injured with a broken leg, he will be gone for 1 to 2 months. That could hurt a little bit on our bench. Frankie Lindor always seems to come up in these moments. See if he can come through in another one here against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lindor with 2 on and 1 out in the top of the 7th. Lindor takes it over the center field wall. At PNC Park, you can watch that beautiful ball go into a beautiful river because that thing was killed 428 feet. It's only Lindor's second homer of the season, but it was drilled, and you've seen both of Lindor's homers. So 5-2. Lindor gets that job done. We go ahead and return to simming, and it's a nice 9-4 victory for these New York Mets. Dairon Blanco doing some stuff. Santander as well. Kodai Senga 2-0 on the season as the Mets put up 16 hits on the Pirates. Here's Santander with a chance against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and Santander takes this thing out to right field. Could that thing get over the wall? No, it is caught. But a little tag-up attempt to get runners on the corners, and Ryan Thompson coming in to try to stop it. Ryan Thompson has not had a great season thus far. 7.71 ERA is kind of gross. Here's Frankie Alvarez, and he puts this thing into center field with a base knock. That'll bring home a run. 6-5 Arizona still, though. J.D. Davis against the Submariner. He'll take ball 4, and he will take himself over to first. And these bases are loaded for Drew Gilbert. But Gilbert able to just dribble this one. He's trying to beat the pitcher out, but he will not, as the 7th inning came to a close. In the bottom of the 9th, though, Pete Alonso with the 2-run walk-off shot. And there you go, the polar bear delivering his first monster hit of the season. 416 feet out to left, his 4th bomb of the year. And that one going to result in another exhilarating New York Mets win. Beautiful as they get the win against the Arizona Diamondbacks 2 years ago's representor of the National League. And the Diamondbacks, with that loss, a lot of hits in that game. Austin Adams ends up with the win. Here's Nimmo with a chance to do some stuff against the Minnesota Twins. It is Caleb Thielbar on the mound, and Nimmo unfortunately grounding into a double play to end the 7th inning. So 2-2. We roll on. We'll return to simming, see if we get another chance, and we do. Edwin Diaz with a shot to close against Sal Frelick, who will get a base knock and get himself on base. Now, that's a fast runner to have on the base paths. Here's Alex Kirilloff, and over to second, over to first, double play ball. Kirilloff a little disappointed in himself on the 5-4-3. Edward Julian comes up, and he swings and misses, and Edwin Diaz has no problems getting through the Twins here in the 9th inning and getting this win. 3-2. Xavier Curry 4-0 now in his relief bids, and Edwin Diaz 9 saves. Who other than Frankie Lindor to come up in a big spot? Top of the 9th, down 2 against the Cubs at Wrigley, at Bert Alzolay, and it is a drilled shot out to center field. This thing is gone. Frankie Lindor with a big homer, taking it over the center field wall. His 8th of the season now. Like I said, swinging that hot bat. 433 that thing went. That was absolutely drilled. And Lindor gives the Mets a 5-4 lead. And you know who's going to try to close it out. Edwin Diaz, 9-9 on his save opportunities. Can he get number 10 here? Alexander Canario comes up, and he hits this thing into the center right field gap, and Dairon Blanco, playing center today, able to make that catch. Here's Matt Shaw. He goes down swinging on the heater. Two-seamer gets it done. Pete Crow Armstrong, former Mets prospect, just dribbling this one over to Diaz, and he makes a wonderful play. as the Mets do get the win, and Diaz does close this thing out with a humongo save. Love to see it. Lindor, big part of this win. 5-4. Phil Bickford gets the dub. Diaz with the save, and Adbert Alzolay with the L. Drew Smith, one of our better relievers, he's going to be gone 1 to 2 months with a fractured wrist. That is going to hurt us as well. It's going to hurt the bullpen a little bit. Francisco Alvarez with a chance to come up big against the Houston Astros in the top of the 10th inning. Just dribbles out to third base. Easy out. Incoming, Anthony Santander dribbling over to first base, and that is going to take us deeper into extra innings as we return to Simming. And Jorge Lopez may be in a little bit of trouble here. We'll see. Victor Caratini going to go down swinging. Jorge Lopez doing his stuff. He's got that brilliant slider. The sinker does not hit as Yordan Alvarez is going to walk over to first. Tyler Whitaker comes in as a pinch runner. 2 on for Jose Altuve. Dribbles it over to Lindor. Lindor throwing to first, and we'll get this 10th inning over with. We go ahead, return to Simmons, see what we got here. We have Santander on second. We have J.D. Davis coming to the plate with 1 away in the top of the 11th inning. J.D. Davis swings and misses. Pass ball thrown to first. Easy out. 2 gone. Drew Gilbert now. Drew Gilbert takes it out to center field. This one will not fall. And we get through the top of the 11th inning. Again, looking for more moments. Austin Adams now pitching. Here's Kyle Tucker, and he is out at first, but they have the winning run over at third. Not going to come home as a big strikeout on Alex Bregman. So we return to Simming again. Forrest Whitley on the hill. Dairon Blanco has a shot at the plate. Here's Dairon Blanco taking it out to right field. This one is shy of the warning track for an easy fly ball out, but moving the runner over to third with the sacrifice. Here's Ronnie Mauricio dribbling it up the middle, but that is a perfect dribbler grounder right up the middle, and he brings home the runner, and you know what that means. Big Edwin coming in to try to close this thing out. Tristan Casas at the plate. He takes this to shallow right field. Santander moves in, makes the grab. No tag-up attempt. Corey Julks, though, coming in as a pinch runner at second. And here's Chas McCormick. McCormick with a slow dribbler. McNeil throwing to first and gets him by a few lengths. Here's Starling Marte, former Met, striking out looking. And Edwin Diaz has gotten the job done again. 14 saves for him on the season. Austin Adams 3-0 as the Mets beat the Astros at Minute Maid Park. So Andrew Vaughn gets himself a chance in Miami against the Marlins. And Vaughn right over to second. He has literally come up big 0 times. Here's Drew Gilbert with a runner on first base, and Gilbert has this one going way back near the warning track, but that is an out. Jeff McNeil, though, says it's okay. I'm here, ladies and gentlemen, as he hits a 2-run shot out to right field. That thing is gone. McNeil doing the airplane around first base, and the New York Mets take the lead off of Jeff McNeil's 7th homer of the season. Normally not something you expect to see. We're not even really at the All-Star break, close to the All-Star break yet, and getting himself his 7th homer is kind of big for a guy that doesn't have that much power. But it gives the Mets a 3-2 lead. Here's Brandon Nimmo, and he will hit a routine fly ball out to center. Easy out. We get through the middle of the 8th inning. Here's Matt Moore, a 3.52 ERA so far this season. Not as good as last year. He's worse against lefties than righties. But we'll see. Here's a righty, and he's going to go down swinging. Santiago Espinal goes bye-bye. So strikeout right away out of the gate for Matt Moore. Here's Brian Dela Cruz. He gets it past Lindor. And over to Gilbert in center field for a base hit. So Matt Moore going to have it a little tough. Luis Arraez, one of the better hitters in baseball, but there's a routine fly ball to center field. Gilbert makes the grab. 2 down. This is huge. Willy Adames, the new addition for Miami, and right into the glove of Alonso. What a grab. Flashing the leather in this episode. J.D. Davis at the plate, and J.D. Davis is going to add to the New York Met lead with a big gapper in left center field, and that brings home another runner for Edwin Diaz to have some cushion. 15 of 15 on his save opportunities, and no side of the plate hitting better than 158 against him. Yikes. There's the first out of the inning, and now Nick Gordon coming up to the plate, and Edwin Diaz is third in the National League in saves. And he misses this one on the slider inside, so Nick Gordon will find himself over at first and put a little pressure on Edwin Diaz. Here's Hunter Bishop, and Bishop just takes the two-seamer down low. He's going to go bye-bye. Strikeout for Edwin Diaz. Here is Osiris Johnson. He takes the slider inside. What is with all these people taking pitches to end ball games? You cannot do that. As the Mets win it 4-2, Sean Reed-Foley 1-0 on his season, and Edwin Diaz 16 saves. We move on. Another Marlins game where the Mets have the lead, and Edwin Diaz is climbing up the list of save leaders in the National League. De La Cruz hits this thing out to right field, and Santander ranges over to make the grab, one down. Luis Arraez takes a beanball on the back. Edwin Diaz getting a little bit of flack for that. Here's Jake Berger, and he goes and he sits there and strikes out looking. You can't do that. Two gone for Jesus Sanchez, who sits there and takes a strike three looking to end a ball game. It is uncanny what is going on. The Mets winning 3-2. Luis Severino 4-4 on his season, but Edwin Diaz tying the NL lead in saves. We move on. It's a game against Philly at home. Winning 4-2, but big trouble for Kodai Senga. Alonso ranges in to make this infield catch and get us out of a huge jam. So we go ahead and return to simulating in this game. And it is going to be a win for the New York Mets. Alvarez hit a homer. Mets getting another huge dub, able to stave off a bases-loaded situation, and it's a 6-3 win for New York. Senga goes to 4-2. Edwin Diaz, 18 saves on his season. Well, you know who it is. Frankie Lindor and another big opportunity. 2 on, 1 out in the top of the 7th. Down 1 in San Diego at Petco Park. And that ball can go out of here because Frankie Lindor's at the plate. 14 bombs on the season. And Lindor, another clutch homer, giving the Mets a 4-2 lead with a 3-run bomb in the 7th. We go ahead, we return to simming, and now Austin Adams in a bit of trouble with the bases bombed in the bottom half of the 7th. Xander Bogaerts at the plate. He's 0-2 on the day, and he will take it out to left field. Dairon Blanco ranges underneath, makes the catch, and ends the 7th inning. Whew, a little threatening, but we get the job done. Now we'll go ahead, return to simulating again, and it's an easy dub. Lindor hit an RBI single, Davis hit an RBI sac fly, and the Mets win 6-2 at Petco Park. Luis Severino getting his 5th win of the season. Jorge Lopez ends up with a save. So, must have went multiple innings and gotten the job done. Good for him. Mike Trout, yes, a Baltimore Oriole in this series, if you remember well. Matt Moore at the mound, and Trout is going to be on first with a single. Bringing up Adley Rutschman, who hits this thing into left, and Nimmo gets the out. Nice job ranging to make that catch. Here's Ryan McMahon, former Rocky. He takes a knuckle curve just out of the zone to put 2 on, 1 away here for Ryan Mountcastle. And Mountcastle takes strike 3. He doesn't like the call. The circle change was just slightly outside. Here's Luis Rengifo. He will take a knuckle curve down low. That one was definitely in there, Luis. Sorry, bud. As the 8th inning comes to a close, Edwin Diaz comes in here in the 9th with a chance to close this thing out, but 2 on, 2 out, and he strikes out Mike Trout. Yes, I'm a poet and I did not know it, but Edwin Diaz is one of the best closers in baseball, and we did know that. 25 saves for him. Corbin Burns goes to 5-6 with a win in this game. He might be falling off after that opening day performance. Here's Frankie Lindor in another big spot here at home against the San Francisco Giants. This one ranging back to left. This one is going to be gone as well. Lindor, how many times is Lindor going to come out and hit a homer in the 7th inning or later? That is his 20th of the season, 390 feet, and I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't think that thing was going to go out initially. It looked like a high fly, deep warning track fly ball, but that thing must have got the wind carried behind it or something. It will help result in a 4-2 Mets win with Xavier Curry going 6-0 on the season and Edwin Diaz at 28 saves. We are not at the All-Star break. Just saying. Here's Pete Alonso, Andrew Chafin on the hill against the Polar Bear in the top of the 8th inning, and Alonso flying out to right field. So 2 gone for Anthony Santander, who will also have a routine fly ball out to center field, and that will take care of that. We go to the bottom half of the 8th. Well, we return to simulating, and we're going to end up in the bottom of the 10th. Lindor hit an RBI single. We got a chance to close this thing with Diaz again. He has been absolutely electric. We'll see if he can get Brent Rooker here. Rooker swings and misses on the 100-mile-an-hour fastball, so he does get Brent Rooker. That's a strikeout for him, and that's 1 away. But he does have that free runner on second. Here's Joey Gallo and the pass ball. Look at this, a little wild pitch. That's what they're going to call it. It'll advance the free runner to third. Joey Gallo will get the base hit over the third baseman, over J.D. Davis, and Taylor, now back from his injury, throws that thing in, but it's a 2-2 game, and Edwin Diaz has blown the first save we've seen him blown. Put it that way. We'll see how many he's actually blown. Brian Rocchio ends up getting an out, and then here, over to first, there's another out. So, unfortunately, Edwin Diaz has blown this save. Not something we have seen most of the season. Here's Frankie Alvarez. We'll see if he can be a hero. No, he will swing on the slurve ball away. Scott Barlow trying to keep this game going. Andrew Vaughn. Here's the hit out to right. And like I said, I've said it before, we've not seen a single big hit from Andrew Vaughn all season. We return to simming, and it is Arias who hits an RBI single for the Guardians. They will win. Scott Barlow 4-3 on his season. Edwin Diaz, first one we've seen him do. Landon Marceau going to be gone 2 to 3 months with a fractured wrist. Luis Angel Acuna going to be gone 1 to 2 months with a fractured forearm. Yohandy Morales is going to be gone 2 to 3 months with a fractured foot. This is where the injuries just started to pile up, as Jose Rodriguez also going to be gone 1 to 2 months with a broken shin. The White Sox make a huge trade to get Jake Berger and Nick Fortes by giving up Gabriel Moreno ahead of the trade deadline. We're going to take a look at that trade deadline and the MLB draft in the next episode. Shout out to you channel members. I love all of you.